Our next speaker in the expert category is Catherine Hepola. Catherine's proven methodologies for leadership and engagement have supported hundreds of successful relationships and experiences. She is a born creative with a passion for storytelling, dynamic presentations, and creating environments that foster innovation. She's a writer, an artist, a comic, celebrity chef, America's sweetheart, and a mother of three. Also, she's an excellent dancer. Please welcome to the stage our next expert, Catherine Hepola.
For the first 20 years of my life, I got really good at this kind of connection. In person, right? Eye contact, body language, timbre, cadence, voices, inflection. I got pretty good at it, I'm not going to lie, but then I got a job working from home. No voice, no tone, no inflection. And this was almost 20 years ago, so there was no Zoom, there was no cameras. We had email. We had Yahoo Messenger, because that was free. And we had a chat room that was only a generation or two away from DOS technology, okay? So I looked at my job, I looked at what I had to do, I looked at the people I now needed to make connections with. And I said, I got a lot to learn. So you gotta look at your tools for anything you might do, right? And learn what have you got to work with. Oh, I can't express myself vocally, but I can use words. Ooh, I like words. I got a thesaurus right here in my favorites. I can use bold, I can use italic, I can use emoticons, and eventually emojis. Again, this is pre-meme, pre-GIF, GIF, GIF. It's a peanut butter of sorts. But with whatever I had, I worked on making those connections. So I would write that email, and I would work on writing, and I'd get better at writing. Like, I'm gonna get good at this. People would print them, read them at the dinner table. I was like, oh, I'm great. Oh, but haters gotta hate. Somebody didn't like my emails. And I thought, well, what have I got to learn? I mean, they're informative, right? They're entertaining. I always open with a joke. I use personal stories. I'm connecting, and I know I'm connecting because people are telling me. I'm getting good feedback. But I learn from the people I didn't connect with. You know how they talk about know your audience? Learn your audience. There's feedback that does not apply to you, right? There are things where you say, you know what? I see what you need. I hear what you're looking for, and that's not me. That's not what I deliver and offer. But my God, you're right. I'm loquacious to a fault. That's a novel. I'm sending a weekly novel. And there are people who want to publish it. There are people who want to read it. There are people who think it's just the bee's knees. But Roger gets tired of all those words. He knows they're good. Everybody says they're good. But he just needs those cliff notes. He just needs bold bullet points. Give me what I need. And I learned to tailor my communication and my connection to multiple people in my audience because I listened to them. And I looked for ways to get better at what I do. So you learn, and then you get good. And then you learn some more. And then you get good. When you listen and you look for the opportunities, you're going to find out what you need to learn. And when you seek to understand what people are trying to share with you or ask you for, you're going to get better at what you give. And at the end of the day, communication, whether it's live here on stage, whether it's in your blog, right, or your tweets, or your Instagram posts, it's a connection. At the end of the day, you're looking to make a connection. And there is a wide scope of how you can make that connection. Are you being deliberate? right? Oh, well, if they can't hear my tone of voice, I'll just use more smiley faces. Does anybody think that? Anybody think just add like 3 smiley faces? It's too many smiley faces, right? You need other faces. What about exclamation points? Who here likes exclamation points? You're using too many exclamation points. There is a way to craft who you are and your persona and your connections that you make without someone ever meeting you or, dare I say, hear your voice. The best feedback I ever got from my first virtual team when they finally got to hear me on a conference call, my God, you talk just like you type. I had to learn to do that, though. I had to craft that voice. And what I got, the gift I got, was to be better at it. I got better speaking. I got better as a coach. I got better as a leader because I was spending time, and here's your tips now if you want to write them down. Oh my God, read what you wrote. Write it out and read it. Roger's right. Seek brevity. Okay? What is my core message and how can I hone it down to it? What I'm going to give you, whether that's an email, whether that's a text message, it is a gift of my time and our connection. So give good gifts. Some gifts are great. I say some because it's better to get nothing than a gift card to a restaurant you don't even like. But this is not about Denny's. This is about how you, every day, have an opportunity to learn, to connect, and to get good.
Now we are moving on to our expert category. We've already heard this speaker earlier today, and she is going to grace our stage once again. Please rise to your feet. Bring a warm welcome to the stage for Catherine Hepola.
Where were we? Oh, that's right. We were talking about getting good, right? At digital communication and connection, learning our tools, using our tools, getting better at our tools. Makes me think about yesterday. Remember Darren? How could you forget Darren? Darren was amazing. Remember we was talking about that company with the emails? And we all thought, like, the spam filter on those emails. Did anybody look at those emails? Did anybody see why those emails succeed? Nobody noticed? Because it came up. I mean, it was fast. He was a fast talker, fast deliverer, but the content was solid, right? Showing you what it does. We were interested. We're like, this talk could be half its size, right? Because I'm there. But I noticed, because I've been writing emails for almost 20 years. Blog posts and messages in chat rooms. And I can tell you in 2 words why those emails work. I'm going to use some old school typographical language now. It's called a hard return. Josh, a typewriter is an old-timey device for writing things when you don't want to use a pencil. Josh, a pencil they're tools, but I'm telling you right now, that first line on that email was a sentence about, I'm going to say less than 10 words long. And then a hard return, a nice clear space before something else happened, also short, a little bit longer. The structure of our communication can be what gets it attention. And when you make it so easy I did it for Roger, we're not going to lie, right? That's why I started to do it. But that company and Darren and his work shows you why it works, right? Works for everybody. Because even if you like the big story and you like the novella and you're a subscriber to the blog, it never hurts to make it easy to get the message, right? One of the things that surprised me about my sort of conversion from physical people leadership and talking to hear myself talk and loving the sound of my own voice and learning to do different voices, and there's still no legitimate business purpose for a Scottish brogue, but it's in my pocket. So I was really surprised how much I liked the writing aspect. I really enjoyed cultivating and curating through words. And I learned through mistakes with words to be a better person a lot of the time. So when you are engaging virtually, you've got to remember some of the things that you take for granted. I was asked once, how do you manage a team of 250 people that you've never seen, that you can't see? I said, I don't take any of them for granted. They enter that chat room, I type everyone's name. I give them individual greetings. I come up with ways to remember them or pull them back. Short, sweet, little, right? But I personalize because that's my job as their leader. And here I can just make a little eye contact, right? I can grab a little moment. But if I want to do it virtually, it's got to be intentional. It's got to be deliberate, and it's got to be personal. So if you don't land a joke on stage, it's never happened to me, but I've heard. When you don't land a joke, or you misstep, or you take a chance on something, you can kind of tell. You can feel the room. You can see the reaction in another person's eyes, and it tells you, oh, I did something I got to correct. You don't get that virtually. So you got to edit yourself. You got to know how to check yourself. You got to know how to look for different signs. Because if you screw up in a chat room, in an engagement with someone, you got to know, when do I convert to pick up the phone? When do I probe to see, oh wait, there still isn't a font for sarcasm. Going for the cheap joke in a chat room full of professional people of all different ages and groups, it's probably not going to land. So I got to work harder. I got to be more universal. And so I would challenge you guys here today, when you think about how you connect, who you are, we always hear about branding, right? Your message. You all know what it is about you. We talked about the gifts. Most gifts can have a universal appeal, but only if you look at them with that lens, right? You have to look at them through the lens of how might this be interpreted? How might someone take this? Does it sound like I'm smiling? Who's ever heard like, oh, the smile in your voice? Is there a smile in your sentence? I would navigate relationships between people. They would have these beefs, they'd have these fights, this little HR moment. And they'd say, well, look what they said to me. And I love how things are in writing. I love it when I can go back to the text. And then I know exactly what happened. I know exactly where the misconception happened. It's in writing. And it also gives you an opportunity to see through someone else's eyes. The empathy available there is unbelievable. What if they were smiling when they typed it? What if you were just seeing it through the lens of their anger? So perspective in a virtual space can be magical.